Now these are Celox Granules. They're a hemostatic agent, but they're in granular form. Now the advantage of the granular form is you actually pour it directly onto a wound. So the important thing to do to start with is always wear gloves. I'm just demonstrating here, that's why I'm not wearing my gloves at the minute. Number one, you need to find out exactly where the wound is bleeding from. So take a normal dressing, pat around the wound until you take away the blood and you can actually see where the hole is coming out. You can then pour the granules directly into that point. And the way these work is they react with the blood and then they'll form a positive, sort of like a clot effectively. So as the granules fall in, they'll react. Now this is really good for people who are on blood thinning agents, warfarin or something like that, or people who don't clot very well. It's great because it will set solid and will stop a catastrophic bleed. Now the unit itself, what you got on here is the weight. This is 15 gram Celox. It's just how much is in there. Easy tear points at the top, so you can just rip it off and open the pack up. On the back, you've got the instructions. So here it will tell you to open the packet, find where it's bleeding, pour the granule straight onto the wound. Then the important part is you need to apply direct pressure. So you put that on, directly put your hand over the wound, or put a gauze pad on start, then put direct pressure onto it. And you want to do that for 3 minutes. At 3 minutes, you can take your hand away and see if it stopped the bleeding. In most cases, it would have done. If it is continually to bleed, put your hands on for another 3 minutes, and then that should stop all the bleeding. Now it's very important then, with that in there, that you then put a second dressing on the outside to hold it in place, and also take the actual wrapper here and tuck it underneath the dressing. So when the person gets to hospital, the doctors will know exactly what's been applied. Now it's very easy to remove it for the hospitals, but from your point, once you put these in, you leave it in. Do not remove it or attempt to remove it. When you're using Celox, there's no heat created, so it's not uncomfortable to the person, but it will stop bleeding really, really quickly. What we're going to do now is just show you Celox in action. On the top, you can open the packet up just by nicking it. If not, if you've got scissors, then just simply pop the scissors on the top, cut across, and you can remove the top of the packet. Open up and have a look inside. You'll see the actual granules themselves in there. They're very fine granules. There's a little bit of dust coming off. This is very safe to use. However, it will dry things up. So if you did get into your eye or into your mouth or something like this, it's not going to be toxic. However, it will dry it up. So you need to drink plenty of water or flush it out of your eyes. So what we're going to do now is just show you how it is in action. So put some water into a glass. You might think, serious bleed, then you need a lot more than that. Well, no, because you've dried out the wound and it's now just started bleeding again. So you're not going to be looking at a high volume of liquid as you apply the granules. So what I'll do now is just pour the granules straight in. Once they're in, we're just going to mix it around a little bit. And what that's doing is it's reacting with the Celox, the water and the Celox, and straight away now it's getting quite solidified. What we're doing is applying direct pressure to the wound for 3 minutes. So in this time it's reacting with the blood as it's coming out, and it will start to react very, very quickly. So now we've got here, this is just literally after about a minute, you see straight away that was just all water in there, and if you turn it upside down, apart from a bit of granules coming out, there's no liquid come out there at all. Imagine that bung is actually inside the body, so it's very quickly reacted and it's formed a very good seal. So this could be something like maybe a chainsaw cut. Someone's got a chainsaw cut to the leg and you found the wound, and see straight away you've actually managed to put that bung in there. So what we would then do is, applying the direct pressure, we then put another dressing over the top, wrap that round, applying direct pressure, tuck the actual wrapper underneath so that the doctors can see what's happened, and then we can evacuate them to emergency services as quick as possible.